We're in the kitchen with lovely Vanessa Baxter making lovely chocolate truffles. It was funny this morning because when Vanessa came into the studio, she said, "Oh, I didn't realise that I was cooking with Wee Willie Winkle today."
It's hard to take you seriously with that hat, I have to say.
Anyway, all in the Christmas spirit, but like these truffles, eh?
It is, yes, and my shirt matches your hat.
Absolutely.
So we've done well, yep. So yeah, we're making some chocolate truffles. They're really, really simple to make, but the most important thing when you're making chocolate truffles is to use a really good quality chocolate, like the best that you can afford to buy.
Sure.
Don't use compound chocolate.
Okay.
Because if you eat compound chocolate, you know what it tastes like. Yeah. It's not really too great. It's not going to improve just because you've added a bit of cream and you've rolled it into a truffle. So they may look fantastic, they're not going to taste so good.
Okay.
So you've got to get a decent chocolate.
Okay,
so,
you've got some decent chocolate
there.
there.
So I just bought a nice dark chocolate.
And you're going to teach us how to make the proper way to melt chocolate. There's a bit of a process.
Well, it's important, I think, that a lot of people don't realise. You need to bring your water to the boil in a saucepan.
I made a mistake. Sorry to be interrupting, but I made a mistake talking about chocolate. The hugest mistake. Please do never put it in the freezer.
No. That's a disaster too. Because chocolate, you need to temper it when you melt it. You just need to melt it really, really gently. Otherwise, you throw all the cocoa solids and things around. You know, you'd throw the balance of the actual chocolate and how it's been made in the first place.
Smart life balance.
So it is a bit of an art, but we're not going to worry too much about it. But the first thing is you bring your water to a boil, just a very small amount in the bottom of the pan. What you're actually using is the steam.
Yep.
And you pop your chocolate on the top and you allow the steam there's a vacuum in there now, you've got a nice lot of steam, the chocolate will begin to melt. Ooh. And in fact, don't wait for it to all melt, just watch it start to melt, and then as it's melting, you just stir the rest of the chocolate into the melted chocolate. Does that make sense?
I'm pleased you told me that, because what I do is boil it so hard, and sometimes I put a satay stick here so that the steam comes out. So thank you for that. We're all learning today.
And you don't want the bottom of your pan, or the bottom of the bowl, you don't want it to hit the water, because then you'll end up burning the bottom bit of the chocolate, and then you'll get that burnt chocolate cocoa taste.
I needed you today. Thank you for that.
There you go.
I'm not
really
leaving now.
simple. It's starting to melt already.
It's melting already,
so you can see the steam has started to melt it, just on the edges there, you can see. So if you let a little bit more melt, like 50 to 70% of it melt, and then stir it, and then the rest will melt in. Then all we need to do after that, I've got some nice macerated fruit mince here that I've had in the fridge for about 6 months, because I can't help myself when I start in about July, I get excited. And so that's just macerating in some rum, but you can use a liqueur as well, or you can macerate it for months in rum and then just add a spoonful of maybe an orange liqueur or something.
What about something for the kids though? You know, you wouldn't put the liqueur in there for
You don't need to put the liqueur in, so you could use like a little orange essence or something like that to just, And then you need 1/4 cup of fruit mince, 1/4 cup of cream, and you're going to mix this in with your melted chocolate.
Right.
Stir it all together and just pop it into the fridge.
Don't put it into the freezer.
Fridge. Then it will come out like this. So it's solid, but not too firm. So you can it's still pliable. Now, if you take it out of the fridge and you find it's too well set, just let it sit at room temperature for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes.
Soften up.
To soften up so that you can actually roll it. And then literally, we're just going to roll it like this and dust it.
Oh, that's a clever idea too.
And I like to use baking paper so that you don't get your board all grotty. The other little tip, to stop this getting crazy as you're working with it is actually
just put
dust your hands with cocoa. And then
roll them.
No, you
just roll. What's happened that's caused you to laugh?
Somebody just said something really funny in my ear, and I didn't quite hear the last bit, so if she could repeat it, it would be quite nice, and I will share with everybody.
We have people in our ears when we're on
I'm not
television.
really deaf. I'm not deaf. I'm direct.
It's a whole nother direction.
You're sharing our trade secrets here.
Now, the other option here, of course, is you don't have to. This is a really lovely cocoa, and again, I stress, just buy a nice cocoa powder.
Right.
Because you'll need less of it. I think the thing with quality ingredients, it can sometimes be really confronting when you're faced with, you know, a wall of olive oils or a wall of chocolate, and you realise how expensive some are, and you tend to head for the more well, the cheaper option because that's just where you're at with your budget. And I feel exactly the same. However, what I do find is if you spend a little bit more on a quality ingredient, you will use less of it. So, and you know, keep
like
your
my
truffles
face cream.
small.
A little bit goes a long
It does go a long way. So I just want to come back to our melted chocolate.
Oh, look at that. That's
okay, so we
progress.
can actually turn that off now.
Yep, as you said before.
And it didn't take long, did it? Just with that steam, that's
It
such a
really
good
took
tip.
about 3 minutes.
Wow.
And then we're just going to stir. The rest of it will melt in. And you know, you can pop it back on if you feel like it's taking too long.
Look how glossy that is.
Gosh,
But this is
so-
glossy because it's tempered. You know, a chef will say that's a tempered chocolate. It's melted to the correct temperature.
Oh, it's
I
in
don't.
words.
I'm not a chef. You know, I'm just a cook. But when I hear things, I like to then look them up and think, why are they talking about that? You know, what
Right.
is important? I used to way over melt my chocolate.
Yeah.
Wait till it's all melted and then get it off. And there's a bit of grotty bit at the bottom. Don't worry, stir it in.
Cool.
And then you realise that's the bitter taste. And
I can look after that for you.
There you go.
Safe with me.
Now, the other option, of course, is you could roll them in chocolate hail, or you could find some nice Christmas colours.
Oh, right.
And
I love these.
actually,
Look at that.
I've popped some in a jar, which are a great gift. And in this case, I rolled them this morning in these lovely Christmas colours. So we've
wow.
got some, and they look really pretty in this
cool are
gorgeous
those?
jar I found, which has also got Christmas colours. So they make a really lovely gift.
So this would be great for children's gifts for
teachers. For
Nice.
teachers or for next door neighbours.
Yes.
They're homemade.
Oh, where did you get those beautiful wee jars with those wee dots?
Oh, these jars are gorgeous. These ones are actually from the home store.
Yeah.
And they come with a little sippy cup top, actually, that you can put a straw in. So later you can serve them at kids' birthday parties or afternoon tea,
Yeah.
play dates. And the kids
Oh,
can
and
drink
this
out of
lovely
them.
little label.
And little labels, which, you know, just you can either print them off your computer yourself or you can find them at
That's
Spotlight.
so lovely.
And then they make a
Spotlight,
great
that's our store.
Very, very
is.
cool.
Oh, that's great,
Thank you so much,
Thank
Vanessa.
you.
What a
Oh,
great
look at your
idea.
lovely melted
I know.
chocolate there,
I'm very
Maffei.
impressed with myself. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
All right, you're
Awesome.
going to stay in the kitchen. You're going to be joining Jeanette with something yummy later. What is it?
We're doing gingerbread dough in a jar.
Fabulous.
As a gift
Looking
as
forward
well.
to that. Thanks very
Awesome.
much, Vanessa and Esther. Coming up, how about treating your mum to a handmade body scrub this Christmas? Green goddess Wendell Nissen showing us how right after the break.
I'm stronger than I've been.